What's up YouTube? Electronics and Gears here once again with another video. Alright, so in preparation, I'm gonna send this PSP to my brother down in Georgia. He wants to play a game, and I said, well, I have an extra PSP, just pay me the shipping and I'll send it to you. So I pulled it out in preparation to make sure that everything works, and the battery, even though it charges, it just can't hold a charge. So in preparation, in order for me to fix it and send it down there in a working condition, I took out the battery that it had there before, and I took out this guy right here. Okay, so it does, this little thing came off, as you can see here, but that was just me when I was pulling out. So if I remember me working on this back then, I had very limited skills back then, and now that I know a little bit better, I can probably try to clean this board up a little and just make it look prettier, and then use this battery that I had laying around. This guy right here almost fits too perfect. So when that happens, you know there's a problem. But right here, see that? Beautiful. So we're gonna use that battery instead and see. I don't know. I don't remember where I got it from, but we need to figure out if it's working or not, and we're gonna put it in there. Okay. All right. So first, we need to see if the battery actually works. I don't know if I'm gonna get any readings at all, but here goes nothing. Oh, get 4 volts. That's actually very good. That means the battery has a charge. And I got the right colors. Red is, you see right here, 4 volts. All right, it's good news. So let's move on. Okay, so I have the circuit board that I pulled out from the battery, connected to my microscope here and to the computer. And looking at this this chip right here, 6575, all these legs are connected, but this one isn't. I don't know if that's used to be connected and now it's not, or I messed it up somehow when I was pulling it out. This seemed to be connected, this seems to be connected, but the middle one is not. But it's all nice and round and shiny, so I'm assuming that it was like that. So I'm just gonna leave it alone for now. Guys, so there's a few things that I had in my mind, and I remember me messing around with this thing back in the day, and it just flimsy and it's bad quality. I remember I got this from like eBay. It was a whole battery, and the battery wouldn't last a month. And I ended up pulling it out of the battery and installing it in another battery, which also went bad. Now this is my 3rd battery. But anyways, I was wondering if instead of messing around with this, would the PSP work if I just straight up put this battery in there? I know if you connect the PSP to the charger on the wall without a battery, it'll turn on. So that's a good sign. But then if I have a battery without this little circuit right here, would it turn on, and would it charge the battery? That's what I want to know. Toxic. All right, we're gonna use this to connect directly to the PSP, directly to the new battery, and to see if it works. But first, since I already here, getting better, looking a little better. All the extra blob all the extra blob that I had on this board I cleaned up, so we should be, yeah, rub a little bit of alcohol in it and make it look pretty. Okay, so upon closer inspection, when I was cleaning the board, first of all, I see this little, you see that middle pin on the top part? It's coming out, so I have to be very careful. It's still salvageable, but then I never even bother flipping it upside down, and I noticed that most of the yellow, it's gone, or big chunks of the yellows are gone on this side. So I don't know, man. It looks more and more like I don't want to use this bad boy, but at the end of the day, if the PSP doesn't work directly with the battery, I'm gonna have to use this guy, so I still have to treat it with careful. Okay, so for the sake of testing stuff out, I soldered some wires directly to this guy. So I'm gonna attempt to, I'm gonna put it on the PSP. Oops. As such, and I'm going to connect the wires directly to the 5 volts on my power supply to make sure it turns on all right and all the cable work is right before I proceed with this. So stay tuned. Okay guys, so this is what I've done so far. I connected the PSP directly to the power supply, and it didn't work. I might have had it backwards though, so I didn't bother looking any further. I didn't want to blow up my PSP. So I soldered directly to the connections on the PSP here, and it goes all the way down to this guy right here. I have my breadboard, and I have a completely random cell phone battery connected to it. Now, if I try to start the PSP, it doesn't start because the battery's been sitting in my drawer for forever. So I was skeptical a little bit. So now I'm going to connect the PSP to the charger. And as you can see right here, the light comes on. So that's very good. That means it is charging my power supply. It's charging this battery, and this battery doesn't have the little circuit thing that comes with it, that all PSP have, the one that you clip if you want to make the Pandora thing. It doesn't have this, so I couldn't find on the internet what the purpose of this is. Probably a voltage regulator or something, so you don't overcharge your battery. But this cell phone battery is, and you can touch right here, they all come with that. Nowadays batteries come with that. So if that's the case, then this is very good news. I'm going to let it charge for a little bit, and hopefully in about an hour or so I'll come back and try to start the PSP. And if it does start, and if I can play games and it holds the charge, then we're done. We don't have to install this piece of crap that's falling apart. I'll let you guys know in about an hour. Okay, so it's been about 15 minutes, and as you can see right here, I got a flashing orange light. That's not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. So I want to try something out real quick. I'm going to take it out, and I'm going to see if the PSP will power on with a little bit of charge that it had from the battery. Yep, it's not turning on. That's bad news. Let's see if we can Let's see if we can try this again without blowing anything up. Yeah. Seems that we have a flashing orange light, which means something is wrong with the battery or the charging system. And in this case, I would say it's battery. Well, both the charging system and the battery are kind of homemade stuff. So this is looking bad. Let's see what I can come up with. Okay, so as you can see here, I am getting 4 volts here at the PSP battery terminal. So power is getting in there. It's just a matter of the PSP not accepting it. So the thing that I was wondering about is, if you're looking at this this board right here, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. All right, it does have a ID section in the middle where you can connect the PSP with the battery directly, and I guess it'll tell the PSP what's what. Not sure, but I'm gonna go on a limb and connect it to the middle pin right here. And while outside, I'll connect it. I'll solder it directly to the ID pin, and see if that makes a difference. And if it does start charging with this on, that means it's an absolute must that this thing must go in that battery. Okay, so what I ended up doing was soldering that ID middle pin to right here, the ID pin on, and just the negative and the positive going to the battery. Okay, so I just wanted to see if the PSP would power on with this, or at least attempt to charge the battery. So when I plug it in, orange light comes on, which is a good thing. So as I did before, I'm gonna let it charge for I don't know, a good 15-20 minutes, and then I'll come back to see if it actually works. All right, once again it happened. Flashing orange light. I don't know what else am I gonna do about this guy. So what I ended up doing is grabbing this other battery, because that one battery was a little too was getting a little too chubby when you press it, and I was afraid that the battery just wasn't taking any charge. So I soldered this bad boy together the way it was, and I'm getting ready to put it in here no matter what, whether it works or not. Just connect it to this battery as such, like this, and it'll go on the PSP. And this battery is just so much smaller than the other one that it fits perfectly in the case right here. It just does. So I'm gonna put this guy together, which was another cell phone battery, and then I'll let you guys know how it went. Okay, everything should be. Let me turn this light off. All right, there we go. everything should be ready to go. This is what it looks like. So cell phone battery, PSP circuit. I've done it before, so I'm pretty sure it's going to work. What I don't know is if this battery it's good or if it's going to take a charge, you know, that type of stuff. So I'm going to put the case. I'm not going to glue it together yet because I need to know if it works. Yep. All right, this is what it looks like. Put a very thin strip of tape holding this together. All right, so here I got my PSP. Battery goes in there. As such, it ain't coming out. It's pretty tight fit. Shouldn't power up because the battery is super dead. And let's see if we can get this guy to charge it. Okay, light comes on. Hopefully it doesn't come out like last time or starts flashing in a bit. So I'll let you guys know if it does. Guys, once again, it's that flashing light. It's been bothering me since the very beginning. So I don't know what else to do. I'm just gonna let it charge. Or I'm just gonna leave it alone for about an hour. Alright guys, I don't know exactly why, but the battery does charge, even though it has that orange blinking light. It still holds the charge, and it's still showing, as you can see up here. You're about to see, it does show a 100% battery charge. See that? It doesn't last, 5 hours, but it does last a while. So, I don't know what to tell you, but it seems to be fixed. It seems to be working. So, see you guys on the next video.